gives a voice to Tampa Bay's entrepreneurial community and highlights our community leaders, aiming to inspire and educate our listeners. Become a part of the entrepreneurial movement today by becoming a member of the Tampa Bay Business Owners and get your brand on air today. Visit TampaBayRadio.com for more information. All shows available on demand. Now, here are your hosts, Jamie and Kelly.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly, where business becomes show business. We're here weekday mornings, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Also, live video stream available over at TampaBayRadio.com. And to all the people that listen through the podcasts, we are on multiple sources now, including, in addition, I should say, to iTunes. You can find us also on Google Play, Stitcher, and TuneIn, and Player FM. So a number of different places that you will find the podcast in addition to the terrestrial radio band each and every morning for the people that are making the morning drive into work. So we appreciate all the listeners out there, wherever it is that you're listening. And if you'd like to learn more about the program, of course, TampaBayRadio.com and also ThatBusinessShow.com now, where all of the audios are posted and easily searchable and shareable by parents of the guests. So again, ThatBusinessShow.com, a new addition to the program. Kelly Wilson joins us in studio. Good morning, Kelly.
Good morning. You said that pretty cool. You said, good morning, everybody. However you do that, sounds pretty good.
Well, and how is the week going for you so far?
Well, it's only Tuesday, but yeah, so far so good, and I'm kind of excited. We're going to get rain today in the Tampa Bay area, so we haven't had rain in, I don't know, months. Maybe?
Rain, and then there's a blast of Arctic air coming down. I don't know how much it's going to impact the Tampa Bay region. I think we're going to hit around 60 as a high here towards the end of the week, but it's going to impact the upper northwest and most of the entire continental United States. Pretty
scarf weather, gloves, mittens, earmuffs,
so
all of that in Tampa.
The season is changing, although I don't really call this cold weather or bad weather by any means. I grew up in West Virginia, where I woke up and my car would be buried in snow, and nonetheless,
yeah, but after you're here for so many years, it's just, that's cold.
Yeah, I know. I always laugh because every time it dips below like 40 degrees down here, it becomes front page news, or anytime it rains, it's as if there's a complete disaster out there on the interstate. People cannot drive.
But it's all the oil on the roads from no rain for so long. I heard that on the news this morning.
Well, yeah, when it starts to rain, the oil begins to, it creates a slick surface, so that's actually the most dangerous part of the driving is when it first rains. But nonetheless, it happens everywhere.
Are you going to go into the scientific method of the oil I didn't mean to start that. I'm sorry.
My point is, though, is that it happens in all states. For whatever reason, Florida drivers are the worst. If it ever snowed down here, I would hate to see what happened. They would probably just shut the interstates down. It would be that bad down here.
I wouldn't be out. I don't think I would chance that. Well, how was your week so far? You
not
doing
too
well?
bad, not too bad. Also, let's remind the listeners, the new edition of the Edge Business magazine has been released, and so edgebusiness.org for availability on that. But a beautiful piece featuring Terry Blachek.
Yeah, actually, Terry's going to be on the show later this month, so we're excited to have him on. Excited. We should have that up on the website today. The graphic team has informed me, and you can also go to the Facebook page, Edge Business, there on Facebook, and you can check out the magazine there. And like I said, you can also subscribe and ensure that you never miss a copy. Edge
Entrepreneurs dedicated to growth and excellence. So a business magazine that focuses on the Edge business community, which is Kelly's business community, and a very nice piece on a lot of different things, including Orange Theory Fitness, which is where Terry Blachek comes from.
Yeah, on the news this morning they were showing, them trying to, it was New York City, and they were talking about the mayor, the governor there was asking for federal funds to protect Trump Towers. And anyway, but in the back shot, there was Orange Theory Fitness. I thought, you go, Terry. That's exciting. And here was this concept just years ago that obviously, was not all over the country. So it's so excited for them, and congratulations to them and all of the Orange Theory gang on all of their.
Yeah, we featured Terry in the past, and he'll be back on the program here in a few weeks.
Yeah, so thank you.
So our topic for the segment here is health insurance. We got Bob McKnight, owner and president of McKnight McKnight Insurance Solutions in studio. Learn more about him at McKnight-insurance.com.
McKnight and
Bob,
McKnight.
Welcome to the program today. How you doing?
Good.
Good morning.
Thanks for having us, guys.
So right now you're in the middle of open enrollment for health insurance. What does that mean specifically, and who does that impact?
Yeah, this is really just come about the last 4 years with the healthcare law. So open enrollment is the one time a year for individuals, families, self-employed, essentially anybody who doesn't get coverage through their job. It's their once-a-year chance to take a look at new plans, new options for next year. Typically, prior to the healthcare law, people would stick with plans for a few years. However, with the healthcare law, we're seeing lots of changes every year. So people are really, the days of staying with a plan for 3 or 4 or 5 years, we don't really see this right now because a lot of plans are being discontinued, companies are pulling out, things like that. So open enrollment is becoming more and more important every
Now,
year.
I've always had health insurance through an employer, and I remember there are enrollment periods. Is this open enrollment period specific to the new healthcare law that it begins on? When does it begin? When does it end?
It begins November 1st and goes through January 31st. The big rush, because people want to make changes by January 1st. So the big rush is November 1st to December 15th.
Okay, so did that standardize all the insurers that their open enrollments had to be in that window?
Yeah, that just started with the healthcare
Okay.
law. Prior to the healthcare law, there really was no enrollment period.
I
You just
remembered,
get
like, as an
insurance
employee,
whenever you want.
Yeah, because I thought there were certain times throughout the employment year that they would make a push to get you into their employment or their health insurance plans. But yeah, so the new healthcare law is what standardized that, and that's what we've come to know.
It
as
did.
open
You see,
enrollment.
because what happens is now that they've mandated that you have to have coverage, they don't want you to be able to get it any time because people will wait till they get sick or something happens and then go get it. So instead, you have to get it during the open enrollment periods, and then that would be your coverage for the next year. So it goes on a calendar year basis.
But at least now with the new act and the way things are, it's preconditioning. Pre-existing Yeah,
conditions.
that's it. That's not necessarily a concern anymore, right?
Correct.
Okay, so
yeah,
that is one
went
benefit.
away with it. So a lot of people that had issues getting coverage prior, or maybe they had riders on their policy that wouldn't cover their back or whatever it is, now they can be covered for it.
Now,
So
what are some of the changes that people are facing for getting coverage in the 2017 year?
this year's been even more interesting than the other years because we were losing a lot of companies. A lot of carriers are pulling their individual plans, 5 different companies. So in some counties, you're down to one company now. It just depends on the area. But
Are you only insured per the county that you're in?
no, it's just depending on the company and how much business they have in certain areas, they might only put their policies out in certain counties.
So, what insurers are in the state of Florida right now that are offering health insurance?
The main one's Florida Blue,
Florida
Cross
Blue,
and Blue Shield.
and so
Yeah.
the others have left, and so we're just all going to Florida Blue right now.
Yeah, on the individual side, not on the group side.
Okay.
Because a lot of people say, like for example, United Healthcare pulled their plans on the individual side. But if you have it through your job, that's still fine.
Okay, so through the job, you could have it through multiple different places.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
just
That really isn't affected by anything with the law. And all of, when you see in the paper United Healthcare pulling out or Humana or whoever it is, that's strictly just on the individual side, not on the group side. But yeah, I mean, the big one is Florida Blue. There's a couple other carriers as well, Ambetter, and then a new one to our area here in Tampa Bay is Molina. So, we're really down to 2 or 3, but in some counties it's just...
what happens if Florida Blue decides to pack up and leave?
Then we're really in trouble.
Does the healthcare law, mandate that they have to, or an insurer has to be in the state? Can they control that aspect of it?
Not necessarily. I think we're getting to the point now where you're seeing, companies are losing a lot of money with how the law is presented as is. So therefore, Florida Blue is still saying that they're doing great with it. So they're going to keep going along.
Well, that's good. At least they're not complaining about it.
Right.
then.
Not yet, I guess, or at least not that we've been aware of.
They're not telling
So we're
us.
seeing like what happened with the hurricanes in
I was just gonna say
2004,
that.
where all the insurers fled the state, and then the government had to enact citizens to have a marketplace.
Yeah.
So that potential could happen, I guess, if the health insurers left the
It could.
marketplace.
It could. I mean, what I think will happen is I think, we're probably to the point where something's going to happen next year with the healthcare law, whether it's repealed, whether they just make changes to it, whatever it is, because it really can't sustain with just 1-2 companies out there. There's no competition. You'll see, rates have already shot up dramatically the last 4 years. You'll see rates go through the roof if you're down to just one company. They're taking all the risk, so there's no competition, and it won't be good for the consumer.
Now, there's a lot of questions with regard to the presidential election and what it means for Obamacare. Donald Trump, campaigned on the platform that he was going to just up and repeal it, but immediately is backtracking on that and says, well, I'm going to keep this and do that. This is going to be a mess over the next several years. So at least for the next year, people that are insured through the online marketplace, they're protected, right? At least through the end of next year, right?
Oh, yeah. I would say at least for that. One thing I read yesterday said that they would have, assuming that it does get repealed and they pass, that they would have some sort of 4-year roll-in type window, transition window. So, yeah, they're going to definitely take time. Because, when this law passed, it took 3 years to implement it. So you can't flip the switch quite that quick. And I think
changes.
that's why you're seeing that from Trump saying, oh, well, it's not just a matter of, doing it getting rid of it just like that. You have to have something else in place. So
now the law also impacted people that, such as yourself, brokers that do health insurance. It cut the commissions down, and you said it gives basically a flat fee to the different people that you serve and stuff. Tell us just a little bit about how it's impacted then, the broker marketplace for health insurance professionals.
It has. I mean, it makes it tough from a broker standpoint because, one of the things they did right out of the gate is try to reduce costs. So by doing that, they reduced the compensation commission that brokers would make. What it did for a lot of agents that haven't been doing this for very long, it was extremely hard for them to continue making a living. For someone like myself that's been doing this a long time, we've been able to adapt and make changes and still be successful over the years. But it has been tough for many agents, and a lot of agents have gotten out of the business. And in my opinion, that's not great for consumers, because as a consumer, you really want to work with an agent or a broker. It doesn't cost you anything. Those agents or brokers get paid from the insurance company. So it's the same price whether you do business with them or whether you go and find Blue Cross on your own. It's the exact same price.
Yeah, and I wanted to highlight about that about yourself, because I know a lot of people that do health insurance that have left the business. They've picked up other forms of insurance in their portfolio of offerings. But, I mean, you have 16 years of experience, and you're strictly dealing with health insurance. And even though the commissions have been cut, your book of business is able to, help kept your income, where it's been coming in before. And so you're definitely an expert in the marketplace. Now, for people that need assistance with Obamacare and the online marketplace, I think there's a misconception out there that they can't use a broker for that. They just got to go to healthcare.gov and figure it out for themselves.
Talk
to us about
navigate.
this.
It is. Well, it's tough too, because now you have, if you qualify for tax credits and you accidentally hit the wrong button when you're figuring it out on your own, all of a sudden at the end of the year you can know $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 back on your taxes. It can be a big surprise. So there's really no reason to try it on your own. I strongly encourage people to work with a broker. Again, it doesn't cost you anything. It's the same price for the policy, whether you get it on your own or whether you use a broker. We get paid from the insurance company. If you don't use a broker, the insurance company just keeps that portion.
And
so
the
it's not like
insurance,
it's discounted,
the insurance companies are in the marketplace. You're not being insured by the government, which is a misconception also out there.
The government's involvement, really, healthcare.gov, is really just for people that are going to get a subsidy. So if you're getting a subsidy, like if someone comes to us, we help them determine if they're going to get a subsidy. And if they are, that's where we take them to healthcare.gov and take them through that process. But if you're not getting a subsidy, you're what's called off marketplace or off exchange, and that's directly with the carrier. But either way, same plans, same, it's still Blue Cross, it's still Humana, whatever company it is.
Well, I wanted to ask about the qualifications of the subsidies, but I know we need to take a break, so I definitely would like to come back to that.
All right, we'll cover that when we come back from the break. Again, talking with Bob McKnight, owner and president of McKnight McKnight Insurance Solutions. Learn more at his website, McKnight-insurance.com, or give him a call at 813-792-2301, 813-792-2301. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly, where business becomes show business.
What's up, business rock stars? Are you ready to bring out the CEO in you? Join Julianne Nichols, CEO of Focus on You Strategy, every other Friday on That Business Show. She'll be talking with other chief entrepreneurial officers about how they grew their businesses. Remember, you could join the conversation at Focus on You Strategies Focus Fridays Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/Focus Fridays. That's facebook.com/groups/Focus Fridays. Be the CEO of you. Did you know the biggest challenge business leaders face today is creating an engaged and productive workforce culture? Bill Meyer Ham Consulting wants to help you solve this challenge. They will help you transform your workforce culture to produce amazing business results. Call Bill Meyer Ham Consulting at 941-201-4650 today or visit BillMeyerHam.com. That's BillMeyerHam.com. Have a conversation.
I knew Mom wanted to stay at home. It's the center of her family, her life. But helping Mom stay in her home while managing mine was just too much. Honestly, it wasn't just about me. Mom didn't want me to be her caretaker. She wanted me to be her daughter. I felt so alone until I found out about Home Instead Senior Care. When we met the people at Home Instead, we just knew they were different. The experience was personal. And most importantly, for Mom and me, I get to be her daughter again.
Home Instead Senior Care. To us, it's personal.
At Vein 911, we will help you feel great again. Do you have restless legs, night leg cramps, or ankle swelling? Restless legs, cramping, swelling, and tired heavy legs are often symptoms of hidden vein disease. You do not have to have visible bulging veins to have the symptoms of vein disease. The vein care specialists at Vein 911 are uniquely qualified to evaluate and treat your veins. Are you unhappy with your previous vein treatment? Vein 911 succeeds where others fail. Call Vein 911 today at 855-VEIN-911. That's 855-834-6911 to book your free consultation. Vein 911. We will help you feel great again. Teresa Turner is a certified public accountant and the founder of Tax Happens, a boutique-style CPA firm providing small businesses and individuals with hands-on, personalized tax and accounting services. Although we would love to tell you how happy their clients are, we would like you to see for yourself. Tax Happens has 21 Google reviews and a 4.8-star Google rating, 17 Yelp reviews, and a 5-star Yelp rating, 38 Facebook reviews, and a 4.9-star Facebook rating. What sets Tax Happens apart is number 1, upfront pricing, 2, clear deadlines, 3, personally available year-round, and number 4, a willingness to empower clients to do as much or as little as they desire. Visit taxhappens.com for more information.
Have you ever tried to buy a home for your family only to find out that you don't qualify for a mortgage loan? You thought that after 20 years as a customer of your bank, they would help you when you needed it the most, right? Unfortunately, the banks of today are not the banks of our parents and grandparents, and our relationships with them just don't matter anymore. My name is Frank Cotto, and I'm the president of the Lincoln Lending Group. We all may need a bank, but we also need a Frank, and that's what I'm here to do for you today. Lincoln Lending Group will waive all of your lending fees, which include your mortgage, application fee, your underwriting fee, processing fees, and any bank points. Just call 813-MORTGAGE. You drop the E, and we'll drop the fee.
In an age when the good and the better vie for attention, it is the best that stands out. The best of Tampa Bay from Proudly Florida is the love story for the city of Tampa, celebrating success, sharing achievements, a tribute to enterprise and community spirit. Let Proudly Florida showcase your business to your city, your nation, and the world. For more information, email info@proudlyflorida.com and be sure to visit proudlyflorida.com.
From the Spectrum Traffic Center.
Heavy traffic on southbound Dale Mabry due to a crash south of Waters near Hamilton. That has traffic slow back to almost Fletcher Avenue. Also seeing big delays this morning on southbound Veterans Expressway from before Lutz Lake Fern to around Gun Highway. Crash in the Countryside area on westbound Curlew, just west of Countryside Boulevard. And on westbound State Road 580 near McMullen Booth. See traffic problems, call the injury firm of Abrahamson Utica Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Lead Safe America. More than 1 in 3 American kids has lead in their blood. No level of lead is safe. Lead poisoning causes learning disabilities and behavioral disorders. Has your child been tested? Learn more at leadsafeamerica.org.
Today, mostly cloudy with a 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms, high 79. Tonight, clearing skies, low 65. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, less humid, low 76.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here are your hosts, Jamie and Kelly.
And welcome back to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly, where business becomes show business. Talking about health insurance with Bob McKnight of McKnight McKnight Insurance Solutions. Learn more at McKnight-insurance.com.
So we were talking before the break about the subsidies and the qualifications for the subsidies. So explain that to us a little bit and what that means exactly.
Yeah, under the healthcare law, subsidy, or another word for it is a tax credit. It's essentially assistance where, depending on your income level, you'll be able to qualify for this tax credit or subsidy that helps you lower your cost. A lot of people are qualifying for an individual, for example, if you're able to show income less than $47,000, there's benefits there. For a family of 4, less than $97,000. So there are quite a few people that do qualify for that, and that does help to bring the cost down.
Well, yeah, especially as we were talking earlier, a lot of times business people, they want to be an entrepreneur and start their own businesses, but they are afraid to leave perhaps their corporate jobs or their benefits or what those corporations have to offer. With some of these subsidies, at least there are options, especially for people starting out, and if that income isn't going to be significant, you could potentially fall into those brackets and then be able to afford health insurance.
Yeah, I mean that's the side of it that that wasn't here prior to the healthcare law. So that's the group of people that really are benefiting from everything that's going on with the law. If you're not getting a subsidy, that's where the rates have gone up dramatically, and those people are being put in a tough spot because it's just getting to the point for them where it's not affordable. But if you're able to qualify for a subsidy, it does. It's a huge benefit, and I've seen some people paying as little as $1 a month with a subsidy.
$1 a month. Wow.
That's kind of cool. Are the main reasons of of that cost differential, is that because of not everybody has insurance like they were supposed to initially?
Yeah, well, when the law first passed, the general of it is there was about 40 different mandates that the government says, okay, every plan has to cover this. They have to cover pre-existings. They have to cover maternity, whether you need it or not. It has to cover mental health, pediatric dental. There's a list of 40 things. Right overnight, because of that jumped the cost through the roof. And that was back in 2014 when it first started. It doubled the cost overnight on the individual side. So that, to me, is where the cost has continued to go up. The only way for really to get the cost to come back down is if you have large numbers of healthy people signing up. And because overnight...
So we have too many unhealthy people?
Well, you just have... the way about it is, take a healthy person. Prior to the health care law, it might have been $100 a month. And then right when the health care law passed, if they don't get a subsidy, it's now $200 a month. Well, if that person didn't want to pay $100, they're definitely not going to want to pay $200 a month. So they'll just pay the tax penalty.
And we're seeing premiums right now increase easily 20%, right, in the state.
Yeah, this year was a big one. I mean, if you take it from the beginning of the healthcare law on the individual side, not group side, if you take it, individual insurance has gone up over 400% in the last 4 years. So it's gone up dramatically on that side. So the people that are really hurting that I'm talking to are the small businesses, the families that don't qualify for a tax subsidy. They're seeing, higher premiums than we've ever seen.
The overwhelming opinion through the people through this show is that it's not been, an ineffective a policy or a plan. I've not talked to any health insurance person or any business owner that's been saying, oh, yeah, the new health care law, man, that really helped us out,
Right.
I've not seen that.
Right.
And,
because most of the small businesses you'll talk to probably won't qualify for a subsidy, or at least a lot of them aren't. If you qualify for a subsidy and you're that guy paying $1 a month, like a couple of my clients are, that guy loves it. But for the most part, who we're talking to is, unfortunately, they don't get a subsidy. And, now you've got a family that maybe was paying 4 years ago $500 a month. Now they're paying $1,600 a month or $1,800 a month for the same policy.
Yeah,
I hear a lot of clients telling me my health insurance is now more than my mortgage. Yeah. And
so what income brackets benefited the most from a single person and from a family perspective?
Under 46?
46,000
So 46
on an
and under,
individual.
you're doing good.
Yep.
And if for a family, which is it?
Yeah, for like an individual, what I see a lot of is, if someone's just starting up and they have so many expenses, they don't show a lot of income on their taxes, they'll benefit from it. Maybe they show $20,000. That person will be able to get much lower cost.
All right.
And for a family of four, it was what, 97?
Yeah, 97,000.
All
right. It keeps going up from there.
All right. Currently, again, talking with Bob McKnight of McKnight McKnight Insurance Solutions. Stay through the break here. We got another segment with him on the new healthcare law and the changes that are coming about in the 2017 healthcare year. And so stay tuned. We'll talk about some of the challenges that consumers are facing in this new year with this law. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly, where business becomes show business.
I feel guilty that I can't always be there when Mom feels stuck at home. She was always there for us. But now she can't get out, and I'm not always available to take her places. Someone else needs to help her get around. Then I learned about Home Instead. Now Mom can do what she enjoys because her personal caregiver is there, and I can just be a daughter again.
Are you struggling to care for your loved one? We can help. Home Instead Senior Care. To us, it's personal.
Hi, welcome to Yeager's. We just want to take a minute and show you what we're all about. At Yeager's, our primary business is hardwood flooring, although we are remodelers for kitchen, bath, and general construction. We operate a fleet of shop-at-home vans that have all the flooring-type products, hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, tiles, stone, what have you. So we're able to come out first with products in our vehicles and take a look at the setting, how the colors will work, and then to be able to come up with some options and ideas for you. If that's not good enough, we have a large distribution center that we inventory product and have a nice display area.
This report is brought to you by Think It Up.
Hi, I'm Nick Jonas, and I'm here to tell you about Think It Up, a new initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join us at thinkitup.org.
1250 Winds Weather Center forecast. Starting off the day cloudy and rainy. Expect some breezy conditions also. Upper 70s for the high. Tonight's low in the mid-60s. Mid-70s over the next few days. We'll see that other front move in. That's bringing the cold weather Friday. Low 60s. Impact Radio, 1250 Winds.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly on 1250 Winds WHNZ. Missed the show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here are your hosts, Jamie and Kelly.
And welcome back to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly, where business becomes show business. Talking about health insurance with Bob McKnight, owner and president of McKnight McKnight Insurance Solutions. And you can learn more at his website, McKnight-insurance.com. And so, Bob, every year it comes around, you say there's changes, new laws, new regulations. And so what are some of the challenges and differences that consumers need to know about for this new year?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest one this year is a lot of people are having to make a move. 5 companies have terminated, if not all their plans, most of their plans. So where people are comfortable, they like their coverage, unfortunately, they're having to kind of scramble this year. They got a letter letting them know they've been terminated. So that's
always a nice letter to
get,
get,
for
right?
Christmas time.
Termination.
That really puts you in the spirit. So it's one of those things that, you know, a lot of people are having to scramble and move around and looking for options. You know, like we were talking about before, if you're getting a subsidy, those are still there. People are benefiting from it. If you're not, because the costs keep going up and up, a lot of what we're hearing this past year is, you know, there's got to be some other options. So what we're seeing, there's some other alternative type coverages that people are looking at, more high deductible, catastrophic plans that in some cases can be as little as half the cost if you're not getting a subsidy, that people are considering now, where before, you know, it was, I want the best coverage, I want a $10 copay, I want this. Now people are changing their mindset a little bit and looking at more high deductible catastrophic policies to bring that cost back down some.
So if they're having to make a move to other insurers, does that mean that they're having to leave their doctors and their healthcare providers that they're comfortable with by joining another network?
We're seeing a lot of that because, you know, with there only being a few companies left and a couple of them are fairly new to our area, the doctor network isn't as big. So what people are having to make the choice of is, you know, I can pay $400 a month and not have my doctor, or I can pay $700 a month and keep my doctor. So is it worth $300 a month or $3,000 a year for me to keep my doctor? That's the type of conversation we're having a lot with people because it's, you know, it's a tough decision.
Like, how much does that doctor mean to you,
yeah.
really?
He means $100, but not $300.
So are there anything that consumers can do in Florida right now to save on monthly premiums when they get these, renewal quotes?
Yeah, I mean, for those that are not getting a subsidy, I would strongly encourage you to get in touch with a broker like ourselves so that you can look at all the options. Because, again, there are some catastrophic high deductible plans that in some scenarios we've seen that are half the cost of the more comprehensive plans. So, you know, be maybe open to that, and it's a great way to get the cost back down because you don't want to look at these extremely high premiums and say, okay, well, I'm just going to go without coverage. There is another option in between that. You don't have to go from, you know, $1,500 a month to literally going without coverage. There are options you can.
There are a lot of, is it exemptions that you can go through as far as not having insurance, you know, or having different policy or coverage? Explain that. Or is it qualifying exemptions? Is that how you say it?
To get around the tax penalty, you mean?
Correct.
Yeah, there are certain ways that you can get around the tax penalty, I would encourage you to talk to your accountant. There's a list of, I want to say, like 30 of them.
It keeps growing from what I hear.
Yeah, it does. It does. But, for the most part, the general idea behind it is, have health insurance, avoid the penalty. If you don't, the penalty's there. And the penalty does continue to go up. But again, that's the big question mark that we have to see what's going to happen next year is, are they going to change the penalty right away, or are they going to still let that phase out for a couple of years as well.
So what happens, like, if you don't have insurance, and let's say you are diagnosed with cancer or something that is not good?
Yeah.
What are you still treated? Like, what happens?
Yeah, I mean, hospitals still have to treat you.
Your level of treatment would probably depend on what they want to offer you.
Have an issue. Hospitals will still treat you, and then you'll get a bill, and then you'll figure it out and make payments.
And you'll be in
them.
bankruptcy.
Right. Exactly. Where you have issues is outside of the hospital. So, for example, rehab facilities, or if you need to go see your doctor every couple of months. A doctor is a private business, just like any other business, so they don't have to. Where hospitals have to treat you no matter what, a doctor or a rehab facility, those type of things, they're going to want money up front.
The medications could be so costly that if you had to pay for any of those up front, you probably wouldn't, unless you could afford to pay cash for them, obviously, or credit, you wouldn't get them.
So the administration, when they passed this law, hung their hat on the fact that they thought that a lot of young people were going to be forced into this marketplace to do an annual penalty on their tax returns. But that's not materialized because so many people have said, you know what, I'll just take the penalty. Are there any talks with the administration on how to solve this problem right now and getting more people into this marketplace?
That's the funny thing is you don't really hear a solution yet. You hear this isn't working and here's why it's not working and that sort of thing, and we have to repeal it, but we don't know which direction they go. I mean, everybody has their ideas and their thoughts on what should happen, but nobody has come out and said, here's exactly what we're going to do. So,
are there still talks about a single payer system out there right now, or is that
you don't hear about that too much?
The right is so against that's not even
really
I mean,
there was rumors
anymore.
for a while, Medicare for all, that sort of thing.
Right, single payer.
But that's kind of gone away.
Because the taxes would be over, because everybody talked about the Canadian healthcare system, but your taxes are like half of what you make up there in Canada, from what I'm told. I don't know.
I mean, in my opinion, I think you're going to see it kind of go back a little bit closer to the way it was before the healthcare law. I think they've got to have some level of underwriting with health insurance to bring the cost down, so that if you are in good health, you can qualify for lower rates. Just like auto insurance, you qualify with auto insurance with your credit and your driving record. Life insurance, you have to be healthy to get life insurance. So health insurance the same way. I feel like if you bring a certain level of underwriting back, that will benefit. You still have to have options for those that do have pre-existings and can't qualify. But if you are in good health, I feel like there should be some way that you're rewarded for that.
Yeah, and I also think that a lot of this more of the talk has to focus on preemptive tactics, such as introducing, more physical education in our educational programs, getting people not just, the wimpy little PE class that you and I went through back in school.
Right.
I mean, real actual physical education that really, ingrains that into our students. Also offering tax benefits and plans to employers that are large enough to install like fitness facilities on site and encourage them to take breaks and go, run on the treadmill for 30 minutes. I used to work at Mosaic, and they had an on-site fitness facility and a shower. I would go there during the break, and I would get on the treadmill, and I'd go take a shower, and I'd go back to work.
Yeah.
And so you don't hear those types of talks. You hear about reactive talks. You don't hear about proactive talks. And it begins with just reprogramming the people at a young age.
I think it'll get there. We're starting to see some programs like that on the group side through your jobs. There's a gentleman I do a workout class with, and right before the workout, he's turning on his watch so that it tracks his steps and his movement. And apparently his premium is reduced every month depending on how many steps or how active he is.
Really interesting.
So you don't see any of that on the individual basis, but I thought it was funny that, my rates are $100 less a month if I do 10,000 steps, whatever the criteria is. But I thought it was interesting because years ago it was just, don't smoke, that sort of thing. But now with all the, Fitbit and things that can track all your activity, they literally have it down to, okay, the more active you are, the less we're going to charge you for insurance.
Yeah, so we need more talks around proactive solutions versus just reactive solutions to fix the cultural problem overall with regard to our health. Now, premiums going up on average are easily 20% here in Florida. What about people that are under employer plans, group plans? Are those premiums also being affected all the same?
They are. They're going up. They're not as drastic as the individual side because prior to the healthcare law, individual policies were about half of the group policies. So now that's caught up, and they're Individuals a little bit less, but it's definitely not half anymore. So yeah, group is still affected by it. As far as if you're getting coverage through your job, you might see a small bump in your portion, or the companies might be getting hit worse. A lot of what we're seeing on the group side is change of plans, coming out with a higher deductible because it's just not affordable to keep that low deductible anymore. So you might be seeing a lot of that.
Now, are you also seeing people that are maybe diagnosed with something outside of an open enrollment period, waiting until the open enrollment comes around to go and get the coverage? And so right now, people that are, unfortunately diagnosed with like cancer, right now, I mean, they can immediately go get coverage and, that benefits them. But if they're diagnosed outside of open enrollment, then they would, obviously, not be in a good situation. Are you seeing people waiting for this too?
Yeah, I mean, that's where the timing and the importance of open enrollment under the structure of this healthcare law is extremely important. You don't want to wait beyond that, just because you never know when something's going to happen. It's I'll talk to people during open enrollment and they'll tell me, I need to have a open heart surgery in January on the 10th, and I already have it set up. So it's just odd to be setting a policy up for someone and they already know they're having
that just creates
$200,000 procedure.
Too. Is the open enrollment though only matters if it's a subsidy? Correct? Because otherwise,
open enrollment's for any individual, anybody who doesn't get coverage through their job. That's what the open enrollment's for. So it's, again, November through January 31st. That's your once-a-year chance to jump in, get a qualified plan for the next year.
I thought it was only if you were qualifying like that under that 97,000 bracket. Like if you were over, is that
the subsidy? Yeah, no, it's for even those that don't get subsidies.
Oh, really?
Now you can still get coverage outside of open enrollment if you have a situation come up, if you lose your coverage, if you've moved
one
to
of those
the area.
qualifying exemptions.
Yeah, qualifying.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, if you're strictly doing health insurance now, what are you doing during the non-open enrollment periods?
Believe it or not, it's still fairly consistent outside of that. We're coming across a lot of people that moved to the area. Maybe they lost their coverage. Even throughout the year, plans are unfortunately being discontinued. So we will get calls from people. A lot of job changes. If someone's losing their benefits through their job, we will step in and help them there. So it's not as crazy as it is for the 8 weeks that we have during open enrollment. It's more of a traditional 9-to-5 type schedule outside of open enrollment. But, it still stays busy. Absolutely.
You used to always hear about that Aflac, and you used to always see the commercials with that duck thing. Is that even still relevant these days? Is Aflac?
Even more.
Really?
More. Yeah. Well, only because deductibles and out of pocket, with the cost going through the roof, people are taking higher deductibles to keep their premiums lower. So because you have higher deductibles, you need a supplemental policy like Aflac to offset your out of pocket. So they're even more important today than, in my opinion, they were a few years ago.
Really interesting.
All right, well, good discussion. Bob McKnight, owner and president of McKnight McKnight Insurance Solutions. Be sure to reach out to him during this open enrollment period for health insurance solutions. So, Bob, good discussion. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
And to learn more at his website, McKnight-insurance.com. Again, McKnight-insurance.com. Or give him a call at 813-792-2301. 813-792-2301. Stay tuned. Coming back from the break, we're going to talk social media on our weekly What's Trending segment with Matt Ashwood. And you're listening to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly, where business becomes show business.
How many times have you said to yourself, I wish there was an app for that? Stop wishing and start making the world better. Turn your brilliant idea into a profitable business by using Popcorn apps. Their affordable app design will help get your blue sky idea or proven business to the next level at a fraction of the cost of other developers. They will help you get through all the steps needed to make your thoughts become live. See them at popcornapps.com with a K in popcorn, or call them at 727-415-6705 for your free consultation and pop your kernel of an idea into $1 million business and a world changer starting today.
Teresa Turner is a certified public accountant and the founder of Tax Happens, a boutique-style CPA firm providing small businesses and individuals with hands-on, personalized tax and accounting services. Although we would love to tell you how happy their clients are, we would like you to see for yourself. Tax Happens has 21 Google reviews and a 4.8-star Google rating, 17 Yelp reviews and a 5-star Yelp rating, 38 Facebook reviews and a 4.9-star Facebook rating. What sets Tax Happens apart is number 1, upfront pricing, 2, clear deadlines, 3, personally available year-round, and number 4, a willingness to empower clients to do as much or as little as they desire. Visit taxhappens.com for more information.
Have you ever tried to buy a home for your family only to find out that you don't qualify for a mortgage loan? You thought that after 20 years as a customer of your bank, they would help you when you needed it the most, right? Unfortunately, the banks of today are not the banks of our parents and grandparents, and our relationships with them just don't matter anymore. My name is Frank Cotto, and I'm the president of the Lincoln Lending Group. We all may need a bank, but we also need a Frank, and that's what I'm here to do for you today. Lincoln Lending Group will waive all of your lending fees, which include your mortgage, application fee, your underwriting fee, processing fees, and any bank points. Just call 813-MORTGAGE. You drop the E, and we'll drop the fee.
In an age when the good and the better vie for attention, it is the best that stands out. The best of Tampa Bay from Proudly Florida is the love story for the city of Tampa, celebrating success, sharing achievements, a tribute to enterprise and community spirit. Let Proudly Florida showcase your business to your city, your nation, and the world. For more information, email info@proudlyflorida.com and be sure to visit proudlyflorida.com.
Did you know the biggest challenge business leaders face today is creating an engaged and productive workforce culture? Bill Meyer Ham Consulting wants to help you solve this challenge. They will help you transform your workforce culture to produce amazing business results. Call Bill Meyer Ham Consulting at 941-201-4650 today or visit billmeyerham.com. That's billmeyerham.com. Have a conversation.
I knew Mom wanted to stay at home. It's the center of her family, her life. But helping Mom stay in her home while managing mine was just too much. Honestly, it wasn't just about me. Mom didn't want me to be her caretaker. She wanted me to be her daughter. I felt so alone until I found out about Home Instead Senior Care. When we met the people at Home Instead, we just knew they were different. The experience was personal. And most importantly, for Mom and me, I get to be her daughter again.
Home Instead Senior Care. To us, it's personal.
At Vein 911, we will help you feel great again. Do you have restless legs, night leg cramps, or ankle swelling? Restless legs, cramping, swelling, and tired heavy legs are often symptoms of hidden vein disease. You do not have to have visible bulging veins to have the symptoms of vein disease. The vein care specialists at Vein 911 are uniquely qualified to evaluate and treat your veins. Are you unhappy with your previous vein treatment? Vein 911 succeeds where others fail. Call Vein 911 today at 855-VEIN-911. That's 855-834-6911 to book your free consultation. Vein 911. We will help you feel great again.
From the Spectrum Traffic Center.
Delays in Town and Country this morning on eastbound Hillsborough Avenue approaching Memorial Highway. It's all due to a crash at Town and Country Boulevard. Also, we're seeing big delays on southeastbound Memorial Highway due to a crash at Dana Shores. Couple lanes blocked there. Southbound Dale Mabry still very heavy from Fletcher Avenue to past Waters. Southbound 275 jam between Fletcher Avenue and Sly. See traffic problems, call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Uterk. Hillsborough traffic tip line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Think It Up.
Hi, I'm Nick Jonas, and I'm here to tell you about Think It Up, a new initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join us at thinkitup.org.
Today, mostly cloudy with a 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms, high 79. Tonight, clearing skies, low 65. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, less humid, low 76.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly on 1250 Winds WHNZ. Missed the show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here are your hosts, Jamie and Kelly.
And welcome back to That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly, where business becomes show business. Time for our weekly What's Trending segment with Matt Ashwood, who does the social media for the program here in studio each and every morning. So, Matt, welcome into the program today.
Thanks, Jamie.
So we're talking about Facebook video today. What tips can you give us today? What's new on this front?
Yeah, so what you might have noticed this past week with the Facebook updates, there's a new tab at the bottom if you got the latest Facebook update.
No, I didn't notice this. What's the new tab?
There's a new tab that's just a videos essentially. So it's really just really encouraging users just to sit down and binge videos. Like they're really pushing Facebook videos.
Is this also on the phone app?
On at least my iPhone app. It's probably going to come out for Android too.
Okay, so it's not on the Android. It's on the iPhone. Yeah, I see the live button there on my phone, and then the photo, and of course the place to put in the update. And so this new update is not the live portion. This is just
it includes live. Encourages you to watch live and previous recorded videos.
But I mean, saying saying that button there is not the Facebook Live button. This is a video button, you're saying?
Yeah. So it's just the video section, so you can see all these videos of people you follow or suggested videos that it recommends.
So they want you to stop
see.
binge watching on Netflix, and they now want you to binge watch videos on Facebook.
Yeah, and they've made it easier so you can stream right to your, like using Apple Play or something, stream it to your TV. That's kind of like the trend that's going, is a lot of people watching a lot of video on Facebook. So I wanted to offer a few tips for Facebook video. First one is, as you're making videos for your Facebook pages, is be aware of the first 3 to 6 seconds of your first video, because that's when you're going to grab attention, and if you want to pull people in and get people to watch the whole video, it's really within those first 3 to 6 seconds that you're grabbing people's attention. You'll notice a lot of movie trailers these days. It used to be a slow build up, like there's a movie trailer, you're watching a movie trailer, like they have the cards coming up and things like that. But you'll notice now a lot of movie trailers, they have a lot of action in those first 3 to 6 seconds of their video, and it's to grab people's attention so they'll watch the full trailer. And so keep that in mind when you're making videos. Another tip is is that a lot of people are watching Facebook video without turning on the sound. So you want to be aware of that. People might not be listening to they might see your video, but they might not be listening to it.
I see a lot of people doing Facebook Live, and then the sound isn't working. Or a lot of times I notice another thing that people do is they'll write something on a whiteboard, and it flips upside down when people are watching it on their phone or something too. So there's something to be aware of when you're doing Facebook Live.
Yeah, there's some glitches with the Facebook app sometimes. So sometimes it's not in your control, but
we have great activity on the Facebook videos that you do. Just last week, the lady who had the app, the young lady,
My Loop.
Yeah, so the My Loop app. Her video hit 5,800 views.
Wow,
5,800 views.
And one thing to know.
I'm not talking about the live video stream. I'm talking about just the short little clips.
The Facebook video.
Yeah, Facebook video.
Now, say that again.
The Facebook video. Yeah.
One thing to note when you're looking at Facebook video views is it counts as a view if they've only seen the first 3 seconds. So you can go in, we can go in and see how many actually watched the whole video or up to 10 seconds of the video. But when you see that views under the video, it generally just means that they saw it for 3 seconds. So it doesn't guarantee a lot of people were
they may
really
not have seen
interested.
The whole video.
Right.
But you have to actually click on it, because I know sometimes if you scroll, right, you'll see the movement of the video, but you're not actually watching it. That doesn't count, right? That only counts if you actually click on it.
If you let it play for 3 seconds, that'll count as a view. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. A lot of people would take those views and say, "Oh, we had 5,800 people see our video."
Sorry, you're
that doesn't
downplay our video.
Sorry, but but that doesn't guarantee 5,800 people actually stop to pay attention to it.
Right, the entire video, right, and all that's in the insights inside the Facebook page. But that one set a record. They usually average about 500 to 700 views, but that one took off. I mean, if you get somebody with a good social media following and they get about 4 or 5 shares and a few comments, those things can really take off. If nobody reacts to it, it just kind of sits there and gets the standard 100 views or something at that point.
Yeah.
And also wanted to let people know that we've updated our social media handle over on Twitter. We're now at That Biz Show, so make a note of that. So at That Biz Show, at Jamie_Maloney is still my personal Twitter. We've just opened up that one, but now we have at That Biz Show for the Twitter. I've been studying YouTube lately. I noticed that there's a lot of editing techniques that you can do on these YouTube videos. Right. Cards, annotations, ways to help your YouTube video stand out. If you go to the video editor, which is up in the upper right-hand corner, if you click on yourself. I'll tell you one thing, though. Google makes things so confusing how to find all your different applications with how they have everything tied together, especially now that I'm starting to mess with the podcast and then the app development. They have I've got a Google Play developer console. I've got a Google Play place where I upload the podcast. I got the YouTube console, and I can't find out how to log into this stuff. I have to Google it each time. Why they make that stuff so confusing?
Right. One thing we learned with YouTube recently, I was working with Julianne, and so on YouTube, there's 2 types of accounts. Just like on Facebook, you have a personal account, and then you can have business accounts. So what YouTube calls it a brand account. So you can have a personal account and a brand account. The thing is, they don't make an obvious what's the difference. They just, if you're not set up as a brand account, you just don't see as many features as a personal account.
Okay, so the branded account is the more, I guess, professional account or setting that you would want to have.
Right. So that's like when you're hitting roadblocks in YouTube, you're trying to do some admin control, maybe train ad managers and things like that, like you would for another business account on another social network. It's because you're probably not set up as a brand account, and I forget how to even set that up.
I noticed it myself over this last week because I have the primary Google account that I've always used for myself, which is tied to my Google email and the YouTube channel. And then I set up another one a while back for whatever reason. It just has a picture of me and don't have any activity on it. But that's the one that says branded account, not the one that's actually got all of our YouTube videos on it and everything.
Yeah. So you would be able, there is a way to merge those videos to your branded account.
Okay.
It's just not it's a confusing process.
No, Google Google does not make this easy at all. There's so many different platforms that Google has, and it's just like I can't find out where to go for my developer account and my podcast account. I just have to keep redoing what I did initially, which is how do I upload a and I find it that way.
Yeah, they've got so many different types, so many apps, so many services within their platform, and they're trying to integrate it all together. And so you have, their tag is like, you got one login for everything, and it sounds great, but when you're really trying to play around different accounts and things like that,
I'm not a fan of how Google lays out their platform for the different features that you have underneath your Google account. I've never been a big fan of Google Plus either. I've just never liked that platform.
I'm just trying to figure out how to tag people on Facebook.
Kelly's just still learning some of the basics. Real quick, Matt, got a minute left. Your Facebook group, What's Trending? Give a promo for that.
Join us on What's Trending group. I'll post some stuff, updates throughout the week, things that marketers should be aware of. And if you have any questions about stuff, feel free to post a comment with a question that I can help you with.
All right, sounds good. Matt Ashwood of Songbird Agency, also handling the social media here each and every morning here on the program. Learn more about his services over at mattashwood.me, and be sure to join his Facebook group, What's Trending. Also, be sure to join our Facebook group, That Business Show Network. And if you'd like to get onto the program, please visit tbsinterview.com. Stay tuned. We got another hour of the program when we come back from the break on That Business Show with Jamie and Kelly, where business becomes show business.